Welcome, Earthlings, to the latest mini-episode of the Wreak Havoc Film Buffs podcast. I'm your host, Dan Sellers, here to introduce this mini-episode recorded by Sammie Castle himself at the Days of the Dead convention in Charlotte this year. I unfortunately was not able to attend. I had to be a groomsman in my brother-in-law's wedding, and as I always say on the podcast, family first, so I wasn't able to attend, but Sammie got a few minutes in with some of our good friends like Chad Hunt, Vanessa Thompson, Christopher G. Moore, and Doc Rotten. Days of the Dead was at the Sheraton Hotel in Charlotte on May 18th through the 20th, and they got to meet some really cool people there, like Ted Raimi and Sid Haig and Tony Todd, a bunch of really cool people they'll talk about in the episode. So without further ado, here's the episode.
Oh, God. Hey, guys, this is Sammie with the Wreak Havoc Film Buffs podcast. We're going to do a quick little mini episode. Right now, I am with Chad Hunt, friend of the podcast. And for the first time ever, Doc Rotten, you've not been on the podcast,
I have not.
We did the one at Wreak Havoc last year with Jeff Moore.
Podcast,
yes, you are my podcast. We are live here at Days of the Dead in Charlotte, North Carolina. The weekend of May, whatever the hell day it is.
It's the 20th.
Yeah, it's the 20th. Today's the 20th. It's been a long 3 days.
Yeah, it has.
And right now I'm in the I'm not in the Wreak Havoc booth because we don't have one. We're in the Gruesome Magazine booth. H&R, all that good, all Doc's wonderful stuff. What's some of the cool stuff y'all seen this weekend? Then I'll tell all my good stories.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I shook hands with Dee Snider.
Excellent.
I said hi to Bill Mosley.
He walked by me yesterday and went, damn.
Sid Haig walks by me yesterday and says, I said, how's it going, Sid? I'm tired. So I said, okay. All right. Cool. A lot of cool costumes. Pennywise, saw a cool Pennywise out costume. Got to hang out with good friends. That's the big thing.
You're not going to tell your Big Daddy story?
You want me to tell the Big Daddy story?
Tell the Big Daddy story.
All right. For you guys that know Big Daddy from, was it Land of the Dead? George Romero's Land of the Dead.
Yeah.
The guy that plays Big Daddy's here. And he's dressed up like Big Daddy with the contact lenses and the overalls and everything from the gas station with his name on it, all that kind of stuff. I'm walking by his table early, and he's trying to uncover his table and asked me if I'd grab one end of his cover and help him pull it off without turning everything over. So I said, how's the con going? If one more of these motherfuckers ask me if I'm a cosplayer or not, I'm gonna kick somebody's ass. I'm the real deal, goddammit.
That's great.
So that was a little gem right there that I will never forget.
Friday night we walked down the ramp with him and had a good little interaction with him too, just kind of chit-chatting back and forth.
I cursed out Teddy Long from the WWF for taking too many paper towels out of the bathroom and not leaving any for anybody.
Chad's had an eventful weekend.
Yeah, we met Tom McLaughlin.
Met Tom McLaughlin, director of Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. Got to talk with him for a little bit. And very cool guy. And who else? Vinnie Vincent's here from KISS. Got to see him.
Or Vincenzo Vincent, whichever one it's going to be. Vincenzo.
Vicente.
Doc, what about you?
Well, the coolest thing is that one of our co-hosts, Vanessa Thompson, was here dressed in cosplay. She was Ash all weekend long, and everybody adored her greatly. A lot of pictures taken with her, including you, Sammie.
Yes.
When you were wearing your kilt.
I have several.
Yes.
I have several pictures with Vanessa.
Kilts?
No, just one kilt. But hey, Chris, friend of the podcast, Chris Moore has now showed up while we're doing a mini podcast.
You said friend of the pod.
Yeah, Dan likes him. So.
Well, there you go. If Dan likes it.
All right, Doc, continue.
Other than that, it's been hanging out with these great guys and seeing you again, Sam. I always love
suck
seeing
up.
you,
He wants to be on the podcast, don't he?
Friends of Wreak Havoc,
Yeah.
or listeners to Wreak Havoc, our best buddy Whitney,
Yes.
Whitney Colasso, took second place in the makeup effects contest yesterday.
It was a cool little contest. They did it like Chopped. If anybody's seen anything like that on the Food Network, they give them a box full of stuff, and they didn't know what the stuff was, and they were allowed to bring one item with them. And then there was 4 of them, 4 contestants. 3 of the 4 I've worked with, which made me very happy. Whitney finished second in the contest with a really good cat that eat the canary makeup. So yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, and we got to hang with some of our filmmaker friends. So the guys from Bong of the Living Dead were here. They were a blast. So that's a film that you should look out for if you can catch it. Another one of the guys from it's The Barn and 1031. Yeah, Jason.
I met them today for the first time.
Yeah, so it's those are the fun things is when you get to hang with those. And of course with Christopher as well.
Multi-award-winning artist, director.
Remember the multi-part.
Multi-minor award-winning.
Minor award. Oh, he's got Best of Horror and stuff like that. That's a major
I
award.
thought that was an honorary.
That's a major award in a minor pond.
When you were born, they considered you a minor award.
Oh,
I have the statue to prove it.
That's kind of messed up. I've had a good weekend too. Today, especially. Yesterday, I was in makeup all day, dressed as a zombie with my. And there goes Tom McLaughlin walking by us now. I was had my zombie makeup with my Hollywood Horror Show host costume on. So I was on the hey, can I take a picture? Hey, can I take a picture? Hey, can I take a picture side of it a lot yesterday. Today, I finished my Nightmare on Elm Street pinball, getting the back glass signed by everybody that I could possibly find from Nightmare on Elm Street. And I got to spend probably 2 or 3 minutes with Dee Snider today. So that was awesome. That was really cool. I have a big old wound on my forehead that Dean put on me this morning. And I said, Dee looked at me and goes, I don't know if you know, but you got something on your head there. And it just played right into it. I met Heather Langenkamp today, Jennifer Rubin. Who else have I met?
We met Heather Langenkamp last night at the party. She had to pee.
I said, are you leaving so early? She says, I got to go pee. I said, yay.
That was stimulating and disgusting at the same time.
Yes, way to make it awkward, Chad.
I don't feel awkward.
That's a Chris Moore comment. Ha ha. Sorry.
I take offense.
What have you run into anything cool this weekend, Chris?
The wall.
The wall.
I run into that every week.
I'm glad I didn't participate in the sleeping arrangements last night.
Why? You missed out on the fun.
There was a lot of spooning going on.
And that got really awkward.
And some forking, too.
Forking? Who was forking who?
I didn't fork anybody.
I would imagine that would be Josh and Vanessa.
Sporking. And then it went to sporking.
It was more like a cheap Kentucky Fried Chicken sporking.
You had a screening of A Gut Punch today. How did that go in?
People were receptive to the film.
Okay.
That's all I'll say.
That means they saw it.
Yeah.
They laughed at the way.
No, there was people that laughed. There was a whole group of people. The people from Bong for the Living Dead were there.
Yeah.
They were very appreciative. So everybody who came out of it said some really nice things about it.
Good.
So I was happy about the audience that was there.
Very good.
And we have the Gut Punch torso on display here.
We do.
Yes, we do.
Nobby
Or yes,
as well.
they do.
And as usual, Nobby's here. Nobby from Knob Goblin.
Nobby hadn't made an appearance in a little while, has he? He's been on the shelf.
Yeah, he's been on hiatus.
Yeah. The torso's enough to carry around with.
He's been overeating. Too much sausage in his diet. Doctor said he had to cut down.
And Tony Todd's wife is now mad at leaving. We've been talking about Tony Todd's not showed up, and his wife just been sitting over there waiting on him.
Oh, man.
So we don't know what's going on there. But anyway,
Squirrel.
the squirrel. As we sit across from Derek Mears, we've seen all sorts of famous people this weekend.
I will say that my favorite parts were the independent filmmakers, horror filmmaker panel, and the independent women of horror panel.
Cool.
Both of those are probably the favorite things that I went to this
Shining.
week.
There goes the Shining twin.
Oh,
Vanessa.
hey Vanessa, we're doing
Ashley
a
Williams.
It's
drinking already.
the perfect drinks for Ash.
Oh,
it
true.
is.
PBR. We're actually doing a mini podcast for our podcast. So
Recording right now?
yes, we're
Yeah.
recording right
Hi,
now.
guys.
Vanessa Thompson, dressed as a much better Ash than Ash actually is, and we're working chainsaws. So.
And a boomstick.
And a boomstick.
Not working, but
She touched me with her boomstick today, and I enjoyed it. So
Like this.
So did
that's
Doc.
what caused this wound on my head. She touched me with her boomstick. Well, Dan's going to edit this and go, Jesus Christ, what am I going to do with this mess? So,
Got a nice piece of that.
yeah. So, in on a bad joke. So, I'm gonna cut this off and go over and talk to Dean and them a little bit. Everybody plug their stuff,
So to speak.
so to speak. Doc, you want to talk? You want to talk about your stuff?
I do want to talk about my stuff. Because my stuff
Make
is
sure
my-
you're talking about the same stuff.
Plug the podcast.
Yeah, so we have Horror News Radio, which is a weekly podcast that we talk about the stuff that's coming out and the horror news, of course. We also have Gruesome Magazine podcast, which we talk about the streaming and VOD, like on Netflix and Amazon Prime and stuff like IFC Midnight. Vanessa's on that as well. And we have Decades of Horror 70s. Chad, you're on that.
Hell to the yeah.
Yeah, and we have Decades of Horror 80s, and we also have Decades of Horror Classic Air, which you're on that as well.
Yeah.
Chad is actually the busiest podcaster ever. We can't shut him up.
It's true.
Yeah, since he's on ours a lot too. So,
No, he's great. We love Chad.
That's right.
Chad, want to talk about where to find you?
I am on Facebook, Chad Hunt on Facebook, Twitter, Thunderhead Jones, Instagram, Chatty Baby, Chatty_baby. Check out some of my art. I do commissions, superhero, comic book art, that kind of stuff. Check me out there. And I'm also on the Wreak Havoc. I consider myself a Wreak Havoc dude.
You do wreak havoc.
Yeah, I do Wreak Havoc with you guys quite a bit. So you can find me there too.
You can find Vanessa on Instagram at Scarlet Spitfire.
Yes.
And do you have a Twitter, or just you do
But I
Instagram?
don't use it.
Go check out Vanessa's wonderful cosplaying. You can find Chris Moore and I next weekend in North Charleston at Crimson Screen,
Screen Horror Film Festival.
or it's last weekend. I don't know when this is going to come out, so it's either next weekend or this coming weekend or last weekend, one or the other.
Knowing Dan is probably going to be out next.
Yeah, maybe out
podcast will be
tomorrow.
next year.
Next year.
It'll be out tomorrow or next year. What the hell is
sorry,
that
Dan.
sound? Anyway,
Well, that's going to do it for this special mini episode. Thank you for listening. I just wanted to remind you that you can follow everything that we're up to on our website, wreakhavocproductions.com. I'm on Instagram at wreakhavocproductions, and I'm on Twitter at Hank vs. the Undead. Sammie's on Instagram at Sammie Castle, that's SammieCassell, and Twitter at the same handle. You can email us your thoughts, your ideas, your questions, concerns at wreakhavocproductions@gmail.com. And while I have you, let me make a quick pitch. In order to keep this show going, we need help occasionally from our listeners. And now we are very happy that we're able to bring you our show without any commercials or sponsors. But anything you could do to help would be greatly appreciated and would actually go to keep this show going. Check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/wreakhavoc. You can be a one-time sponsor or donor, or you can give a monthly contribution. Anything you can do will help towards our goal. And keep listening. We'll be back next week, again with Chad Hunt, and a very special episode on The Shining. We'll see you then, guys.